Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be doing a review for the Bundesliga Team of the Season players. Sorry that this has taken me a while to do. I just had to find the time to be able to get this all done. But there are a lot of players to review from this Team of the Season, a lot of good players. We're going to talk about some concept teams that you can make with some of the guys you would be playing in your teams that would somewhat still be of meta. So, we're going to get started here with Robert Lewandowski. Now, Robert Lewandowski's card is going to be fantastic to use. He's going to be a lot of fun. His finishing is probably going to be super consistent. He has 86 acceleration and 91 sprint speed, which is fantastic to have for his card, because the thing about Lewandowski's card with his regular versions of his card is that he only has 79 acceleration with 83 sprint speed, excuse me. Which is very low, right? So in regards to his team of the season, he now has 91 sprint speed. If you're gonna want to improve the card as much as possible, try to improve the pace as much as possible. I know that some people would probably not do this, but I would still give him a hunter card to make his shooting as perfect as it can possibly be. I know that the differences of the stats aren't hugely significant, but the other areas in which he can be improved in isn't really relevant. Actually, no, it can be, because you can actually give him more physical if you give him, I believe it's not Engine, it's not Guardian. I think it was Hawk, maybe? Yeah, so if you give him Hawk, you'll be improving his shooting stats probably to the most, even if these stats are real or not. Pace would definitely be improved, and then you would give him extra physical, which would help in the strength, aggression, jumping department. So if you give this card a Hawk, he would actually be really good to use. Like I said, his finishing is probably going to be fantastic, with 99 finishing generally speaking, 97 shot power, 96 composure, so he's going to be very good in that department. 4-star weak foot, so he doesn't have the 3-star weak foot, which will always be something that you're going to be missing with your players, but his physical strength and his presence outside the box, inside the box is going to be fantastic. Now, in regards to traits, he does have the finesse shot trait and the chip shot trait. So with the finesse shot trait, he's going to be a really, really fun striker to use, because he's probably going to finish every single opportunity that he gets, right? Outside the box, inside the box. That finesse shot trait definitely helps out his card being significantly better. If I were to use this card, I would probably use him as a left striker because of the fact that he has that finesse shot trait. So if you want to do a driven shot with his weak foot, which is his left foot, he can take really good driven shots across goal, bottom right corner, because it's a 4-star weak foot. And then he also has the finesse shot trait, so you can cut inside and do a finesse shot, and he'll do a very powerful finesse shot because of the way they just take it, right? You guys probably notice those things with like Messi, Heung-min Son, that they just tend to take those opportunities more. Another good thing about Robert Lewandowski's card is that he is 6 foot tall. He has a big physique in game, so his strength and aggression is only going to be better. He also has 95 jumping with 99 heading accuracy. So if you want to cross the ball into Lewandowski, whether he's a right cam, left cam, far post, or you want to play him as a lone striker in a 4-2-3-1, which he would be very good at, by the way, because his passing is actually quite nice. Or you want to play him in a 4-1-2-2 with another striker up top, he would also do a very good job at doing all that as well. So if I were to get this card, I would probably give him which card did I just give him again? It was Architect, right? I think it was Architect. No, it was I can't believe I already forgot the card. Engine, Powerhouse, Maestro. No, dude, I literally just put this card, guys, and I already totally forgot. It was Architect. It was Marksman. It was Hawk. It was Hawk. Okay, so Hawk will give him the physical boost, the shooting boost, and the pace boost. So that's the chemistry style that I would give to Robert Lewandowski. Let's see who else we got going on here. So now we have Cam Royce. The biggest thing, without even looking at anything right now, that needed to be improved with this card is his stamina. His stamina is 87. That means he's going to be an absolute god. 94 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, 97 agility, and 91 balance. So moving left and right with him is going to be fantastic. Let me see if he has any dribbling traits. He doesn't have any dribbling traits, but his dribbling would still be very good, obviously. Shooting finesse shot, that's fantastic to have, especially if you're playing him as a cam with really good passing stats in general with 87 to stamina. He would be a very, very ideal cam to use, because I think his work rates are medium as well. Yeah, so he would be a ton of fun to use. in the cam spot. So 94 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, fantastic to have, with 97 agility, 91 balance, while being 5'10". So this card is going to be a beast, no doubt about it in my head. He also has 85 strength, which is very nice to have. Doesn't have aggression, which is fine. If you're playing him as a cam, he's going to play that role really well. He's 1 million coins in the Xbox, 1 million coins on the PlayStation as well, or over 1 million coins. He has 96 ball control, 97 dribbling, 93 composure. So the composure is definitely going to help in the dribbling department, the finishing department. He's going to be very good at doing all that. Long shots being 97 with 96 shot power, while also having a good trait in the finesse shot trait is going to be really nice. He also has the backs into player trait, which is very interesting. I wonder how that would actually play out as a balanced cam. That would be very interesting to see. Injury prone, I don't know why that's a trait in the game. Hopefully he doesn't get injured too much for you guys when you actually play with him. Excuse me. Free kick accuracy, he takes the finesse style free kicks. Finesse style free kicks aren't really too crazy to have in FIFA nowadays, because it's better to just do the free kick tactics rather than like actually taking it directly. But if you want to have fun, the finesse style free kick is definitely a more accurate way of taking the free kick. So we'll definitely look into that as well. 92 jumping is fantastic to have with 85 strength. His heading accuracy doesn't have to be good. It's not a big deal. It's more about winning the balls in the air when it's a corner, when it's being played into the midfield. So it'll be fantastic to have a cam who's 5'10", who has 92 jumping with 85 strength, to actually be able to win the ball here and there in the middle of the field, right? So finishing wise, he's going to be fantastic. Passing wise, going to be fantastic. This card just looks like an absolute beast, right? Again, I would probably give him physical boost because his dribbling and his passing is already God tier. So again, I would probably give him and I already forgot what it was again. I would give him Hawk to increase his pace as much as possible, his shooting to be as perfect as it can possibly be, and then improve his physical stats so that, you know, having the extra strength, the jumping, and the aggression will definitely help. The dribbling is not really relevant to increase. The passing stats aren't crazy relevant to increase either, so this just looks like a really good card. The injury prone could present to be a problem. It's not even a problem. It's more of an annoyance. If you have injury cards, it's not a big deal, but it would be annoying from time to time. Thomas Muller with 88 pace. So let's check out his card. So Thomas Muller will actually be able to dribble nicely on the ball. So that's good, right? This is a very usable Thomas Muller card. 86 acceleration with 89 sprint speed, 90 agility with 85 balance. So dribbling on the ball while being 6'1", he's going to do a very good job at it, right? He doesn't have 4-star skills, but he would be a really fun player to use as a center midfielder without defensive stats. Take that into mind. Or, you know, if you're playing him as a right cam or a left cam, I feel like he would play that role really well, or a left mid or a right mid, because high work rates is very nice to have in those specific positions to be able to track back and go forward. He does also have 99 stamina, so there's a lot for you to work with this card, right? 99 finishing with 98 composure, 90 shot power, 90 long shots. So his shooting is going to be fantastic. His composure being really up there is definitely going to help in regards to his card being good or bad. His shooting stats in general are fantastic. If we look at his traits, he doesn't have any, which kind of sucks. His passing stats in general are really nice as well. 99 short passing, 86 long passing. You could play him off as a striker and then have him, you know, be able to... This is why I think he would make a really good right cam or left cam. It's because of that 4-star weak foot on the left side will be nice. But then it's also the fact that he's 6'1" with great physical presence in the game, because he's kind of a bigger dude in game as well. With 81 strength, 98 jumping, 99 heading accuracy, he's going to win a few balls in the air when you're crossing the ball, either far post or really close inside the box. He has 73 interceptions, which, believe it or not, actually really helps if you're playing him as a left mid or a right mid or a left cam or a right cam, because having somewhat of interception stats is definitely super beneficial to any card. So which card would I give Thomas Muller? I think his shooting is already really good. Again, I would probably improve his physical again. So most of the cards, I think, so far for the Bundesliga, we're probably going to be giving a Hawk, because his pace is already very good, but you can improve it, obviously. His shooting, you want to make as perfect as possible. And then his strength the strength or the physical aspects of a player in FIFA nowadays is incredibly important. It's very, very important for players to be physically good in game, for them to play to be super usable. The short players in FIFA are good, but it's very situational, right? Like the short players are only very good if they have other stats to make up for it. Dribbling, quickness on the ball, right? All those things are very relevant towards a player being really good or really bad. So we have Matt Hummels here with 75 pace. So 75 pace is actually usable. If we look at his agility and balance, not necessarily the greatest, but this is still, in my opinion, a very usable card, right? He's got great passing stats. Defensive stats are quite nice, and his physical stats are quite nice, right? Generally speaking, would you pay 350k for this card? I wouldn't, because the balance, agility, the sprint speed, acceleration is too low for someone that you're paying 350k for, right? He does have high attacking work rates, medium defensive work rates, so he's an aggressive defender, right? So aggressive defenders with not enough acceleration, sprint speed, agility, and balance altogether isn't necessarily a good thing to have. Now, because he's an aggressive defender, you also have the fact that he's 97 interceptions with 80 aggression. So 80 aggression isn't crazy good for someone that's going to be playing super aggressive on the defensive front. So card is nice, not necessarily ideal in my opinion, right? His 99 composure is nice, so when you're defending with him, you know, he's going to be very composed on the ball, so that's all going to be awesome to have. Let's see if he has a power header trait. So he has passing and long passer. This, in FIFA nowadays, is not incredibly relevant, but there are situations where it's going to be nice to have. He's a playmaker because he's passing in real life. He's probably one of the best passers as a center back, in all honesty. He avoids using the weak foot. In all fairness, I never see him use his left foot in real life. If you were to boost this card, obviously with center backs being incredibly good nowadays, I would probably just give him an anchor to improve his defensive stats as much as possible, his pace as much as possible, and his physicality as much as possible. Other than that, the card is... It looks like a card that would be fun to use, but I wouldn't necessarily pay 350k for the card. He is 6'3" with great jumping and heading accuracy, with good strength, but there's a few things that are missing with the card to really make him really good, in my opinion. Kimmich is going to be a really fun card to use. Without even looking at this card, he would be a fun card. He wouldn't be meta because he doesn't have the sprint speed, right? But he would be a lot of fun to use. The reason why Kimmich would be a lot of fun to use is because he's a great player who is a good player all around, right? So if you want to actually start off with a 5 at the back formation and then start Kimmich as a right back, even on 7 chemistry as a center back, he would play the center mid role really well. So if you were to get him on 7 chemistry in the center back role, and then you would give him probably the Hunter stats, because his defensive stats are already very, very good. So if you were to give him Hunter, you can actually see that the card is very, very nice. Acceleration, sprint speed is fantastic. Shooting stats are really, really nice. Passing is very good. Dribbling is very good. His agility and balance is fantastic. And, you know, he is 5'9". So having good agility, good balance, good acceleration, sprint speed is definitely very, very nice to have for his card to be very good. He's a very good all-round card. I think he would be fantastic to use as a center mid, just moving all around the pitch. If you wanted to use him as a right back, he would actually do a very good job at that too. So you'd probably give him an anchor card, play him on 10 chemistry. Because his physical stats are already quite nice, I would probably consider giving him a shadow card so that you could increase the pace as much as possible, right? Because if you increase the pace, I think this card is going to be really, really nice for you to use. Because the thing about Kimmich's card is that you can play whatever style you want with him. If you want to be an aggressive attacker while being a fullback, he can do a really good job at that for you. If you want to be a conservative defender, he can do a good job at that too. He's very aggressive. His interceptions are quite high. So again, that'd be fantastic to have for someone who's a center mid. As a right back, it's it's kind of 50-50, right? So if your fullbacks are super aggressive, sometimes they push out of positions when you don't necessarily want them to. So you have to be very careful with that. But this card does look fantastic. Play him on 7 chemistry as a center back, move him to the center mid position with 5 at the back. Play him as a right back, even by itself, he would be fantastic. So this is a card that's definitely worth the price tag in regards to how much fun you can potentially have with this card. He looks really, really good, man. He looks like a lot of fun. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of people liked Kimmich's. I think he had a few inform cards, and people really enjoyed using his inform cards. So I would definitely look into that as well. Timo Werner is more expensive because he does have the pace, but I would never pay this much money for a card that doesn't have the skill moves, right? Skill moves are always going to be a super relevant thing to have. Now, I think Werner actually has the getting behind, yes, so tries to be the defensive line. So this actually makes the card significantly better, as well as having dribbler and speed dribbler. So he has 99 acceleration, 98 sprint speed, 95 agility, 92 balance, which is fantastic to have. So moving on the ball, he's going to be very good. His finishing is going to be fantastic because he has 99 finishing with 84 composure. 84 composure, considering that it's a team of the season nowadays, is still low. Like if you look at players nowadays, they have over 90 composure, and that composure, it's such a stupid stat to have in FIFA, but it still makes a huge significant difference in whether or not a card plays well. So Timo Werner, typically speaking, he's going to be a fantastic player to get in behind and press the back line with because of that trait, right? So he does have the 4-star weak foot, which makes the card really nice in my opinion, but the lack of skill moves for the price you're paying for would annoy me from time to time, right? Now, to be honest, he could make up for it with the fact that he does have that tries to beat the defensive line, but it's really situational with the player. You would have to try him out to see how he would play for you. But dribbling on the ball, he would be fantastic because he does have dribbler, speed dribbler, so that's going to be really nice with his card. He has a 99 hitting accuracy with 95 jumping. So if you want to cross the ball into Timo Werner while he's running in behind a defense or being the defensive line, again, he's going to do a very good job with that too. 73 strength is quite decent to have, considering that he does have 78 aggression as well while being 5'10". So not too bad considering someone that's going to be trying to beat the defensive line. That trait is a very important trait because when a player is good in the strength, aggression, and pace department, it actually makes that trait significantly better. So if you actually look at Thierry Henry's card, right, you could see that his aggression is low, but his strength is good. But the icons in FIFA in general are big dudes, and Thierry Henry's massive, right? So having that strength, right, with okay aggression, but really good sprint speed, but good physical presence in the game, that's what makes a card really good. So that's why I think Timo Werner is a possibility of being a good card, but you would have to try it out to see if it would suit your style. So the next player that we have here is Batshuayi. So Batshuayi is a card that I've mentioned to people before that could significantly be a really, really fun card to use. Now, if you looked at his inform versions of his cards, he actually has certain stats that would actually make him really usable. So he has 83 acceleration, 87 sprint speed. His finishing is very nice. Composure is very good. Shot power is very good, right? So this card alone just looked like a fun card to use, right? Pace is not there, but for a physical type of striker, for a different type of striker, right? Because Batshuayi being basically the Lewandowskis, the Cavani's that actually have good dribbling stats, good shooting stats, good pace stats, right? With the improvement of the team of the season, the card would only be significantly better to use, right? 88 acceleration, 92 sprint speed is very nice to have for a striker. It could definitely be better for sure, but it's a team of the season version in which you can improve, right? So 88 acceleration, 92 sprint speed with 94 agility, 94 balance, 95 reaction time, 93 ball control, 91 dribbling, 97 composure. He just looks like a very good card, right? Finishing, he's going to be fantastic at doing it. Selfish, I don't know what Selfish does, to be honest. But physically, he's going to be a monster with 76 aggression while also having 99 strength and really good pace stats. So he'll be a very, very good card to use. All right, so the next player that we got here is Hamid Rodriguez. So Hamid Rodriguez, hopefully they improved his stamina, and it's 83. So Now the card's usable, right? Because if you guys ever looked at his 87s and stuff, just look at how low the stamina is. It's 72 for a center midfielder. That's terrible to have, right? So if you get his team of the season card, his team of the season has 83 stamina. So let's look at some specifics with this card. He is so much fun to use on his left foot. So much fun to use, right? He has a 3-star weak foot but 4-star skill move. So if you are going to be using Hamid Rodriguez's card, I would highly suggest using him as a left center mid or as a cam, right? I think he'll play those roles really well. So he has 86 acceleration with 83 sprint speed, 92 agility, 84 balance. So again, dribbling is going to be very good with him. If we look at his traits, he has technical dribbler, playmaker, so his passing is going to be fantastic. He has 90 finishing, 95 shot power, 99 long shots, 99 volleying, so shooting stats in general are definitely there. Agility, 92, 84 balance, 95 reactions, 96 ball control, 94 dribbling, 98 composure. Composure being good or being really high up like 98 helps in the dribbling and the attacking presence, right? Defensively, if you're going to use him as a left center mid, he's not really going to do that well for you because he is lacking in defensive stats. Physically, he'll actually be okay to have. So when he's dribbling the ball, he'll be a fun player to use because he does have 85 strength, 83 stamina, 79 aggression. So very nice to have, but he won't really win any ball for you in the air, being 65 jumping and 60 or 77 heading accuracy is all right. It doesn't really matter considering his jumping is quite low, right? He is 5'10", so decent height to have, medium low work rate. So he's more like a fun player to use more than anything. I don't necessarily think he'll be that meta to use, but it would definitely be fun to check out Hamid Rodriguez's card. If you're going to improve his card right off the bat, you just got to give him Hunter. You got to improve his pace as much as possible and his shooting as much as possible, considering his dribbling and his passing stats are already really good, right? So on to the next card that we got here, which is Peterson. So Peterson is a 94 striker with 82 pace. So right off the bat, wouldn't use the card because the acceleration sprint speed is just far too low. Yeah, just I don't even think cards like this aren't really like worth looking into because they're just not really that great. Bailey actually looks like a card nowadays that is usable or more usable in my opinion. I think the 85s and stuff are great. It's my only problem with this card that they needed to improve drastically to make his card significantly better is his composure and his finishing, and that's what they did, right? So if we look at his card now as a left mid, with 4-star, he has 99 acceleration, 97 sprint speed with 99 agility, 93 balance. So that's fantastic to have because we already know right off the bat he's going to move left and right really nicely. He is a left-footed player on the left side, which is very, very nice to have. If you're playing him as a left forward, left wing, it's nice to be able to have a 4-star weak-footed player on those sides. He has the long shot taker, which is, again, very nice to have if he's going to be playing off on the left side to be able to take those shots across body, long shots. Technical dribbler, so dribbling is going very good with him. Speed dribbler in general. Yeah, he just looks like a fantastic card to use, right? Now, the thing about these cards, right, is they're going to be a lot of fun to use in the game. But the thing that people need to realize is that 83 finishing and 82 composure is still kind of low considering it's a team of the season card, right? So his consistency with finishing will be very similar to Martial. It'll be better than Martial's regular card, but still very similar, right? But he'll definitely be a better card to use nowadays, considering all the stat boosts they've given him that actually makes him significantly better. His passing is phenomenal, so he'll be really fun to use as a left mid, left wing, left forward, even as a striker if you really want to, cam even, because his passing is very good to be used as a cam. Physically, he's a beast too, right? Because he has 99 jumping with 99 heading accuracy, which is very nice to have considering he's 5'10", 76 strength, 96 stamina, 77 aggression. So this card is going to be an absolute monster to use. His pace is already kind of basically perfect, so I would probably consider giving him... I don't even know which card to give him. I'd probably improve his physical as much as possible, so maybe give him finisher, so that way you would improve his shooting as much as possible. I don't even know where finisher is. I'm so blind right now. There it is. So finisher, you would increase his strength and aggression, which is very important. And then you'll increase his finishing Well, I mean, like everything else is already pretty good. It's the finishing being improved that's pretty significant. Because dribbling and passing, you won't notice the difference if you improve those. But the finishing being a +5 and an 88 with an 82 composure, as well as aggression and strength being there, it'll definitely help out in regards to whether or not you will like the card. Next card that we've got here is Gretzky. So Gretzky is the card that basically everybody wants. Why does everybody want this card? Because he's an absolute god, right? 89 acceleration, 92 sprint speed, 84 agility, 80 balance. That is beautiful to have for someone who's going to be playing as a center mid for you with a 4-star weak foot with high work rates. This is as meta as it possibly gets with Team of the Season cards. Beautiful at dribbling on the ball, off the ball. Finishing, 87, drastically improved from his inform, which was a 76, right? So 87 finishing, who's going to be playing as a center mid for you, is going to be very nice. 93 shot power, 96 long shots. Traits, he has the long shot taker, as well as a speed dribbler. So the thing about Gretzky having long shot taker, right? With good long shots, good shot power, good finishing, really good composure, this card is going to be an absolute monster for you at taking shots outside the box. So, you know, if you're playing a 4-1-2-2, this guy's going to be an absolute monster for you, right? Passing stats are fantastic. 91 long passing, 97 short passing. Physicality is god tier considering his pace is so high up already. He has 96 aggression, 77 strength, 98 stamina, 76 jumping. That's already very good to have considering that he is already 6'2", right? So that aggression with those interceptions, beautiful to have as a center mid if you want to play him in a certain way. Even as a CDM, this card would play really well in your team, right? Interceptions are god tier. Defensive stats are god tier with 89. If I were to use this card in my team, I would give him an anchor, or actually, would I give him, do I really want to notice the difference with, I think I would give him a shadow, guys, to be honest with you, because shooting stats are already really god tier, and I'm more of a defensive oriented person, so give his pace as much as possible, give his defense as much as possible. Having that as a center mid or a CDM will be very nice to have. This card is a no-brainer. He's an absolute god to use in anybody's team. He's a card that pretty much everyone should be looking to get. Excuse me. He's a card that anyone should pretty much get. Absolutely fantastic. Naldo. Now, here's the thing with Naldo's card, right? People will always look at the base card stats of players like Naldo and think, this guy's a god, right? Here's the thing about Naldo's card. This right here, right? Is this card going to be a fun card to use in the game? I do think he will. But you will 100% always notice the very low agility and balance because he is 6'5". So that actually diminishes the acceleration and the sprint speed a little bit because of how poor his balance and agility is, right? Everything else, the card's fantastic, right? 80 dribbling is very nice to have, but that 80 dribbling isn't actually 80 dribbling because of the balance and agility being so low considering he's 6'5". That works. Okay, if he's like 5'10", but 6'5", this guy's gonna be super clumsy around the pitch, right? But you know, composure is very good. His passing stats are very good. His shooting is very good, considering he's a center back. If you tell him to join the attack, you've got a center back that can actually finish opportunities into the back of the net. So can't go wrong with that. He's just not necessarily a player that I would use, right? His jumping is 50, but he is 6'5", so it might compensate a little bit of it. He probably doesn't even jump. He just probably stands there and just heads the ball away, but he's not a card I would try out, to be honest. Like, base card stat-wise, he looks like a really cool card, but the specifics is what I think will make his card not that great, right? Goalkeepers we don't review unless they have the saves with feet traits. Keita has a nice card, but it's more like a fun card to use because dribbling on the ball, he'll be fantastic, but his sprint speed is quite low. Like, this isn't necessarily an ideal card to use. I can't wait to see him in a Liverpool shirt next year, by the way. But speaking FIFA-wise, it's not really worth looking over this card because, you know, he's 5'7", doesn't really have that many defensive stats to make up for it. It's very low because you want to play him as a center mid, right? Stamina's great, but the strength is really low. The aggression interceptions is nice, so that's definitely a good plus right there. But the standing tackle and the sliding tackle, It's not like crazy low, but it's not necessarily ideal. Like right off the bat, if you use this card, you have to use Shadow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to it. You got to use Shadow on this card. But I don't know. Maybe if you try out Shadow on the card, maybe he'll be significantly better for you. I just don't think that it's going to be necessarily a great card to use. If we look at his traits, he has Playmaker, so that means his passing will be very good with these stats. Flair and stuff. Not necessarily a card that I would use, to be honest. Doesn't look that great. Uth's card, he has 87 pace, which is actually decent. He has 88 acceleration, 87 sprint speed, 87 agility, 79 balance. So, to be honest, on the ball, he's actually not going to move that terribly. He's going to be pretty decent. A 79 balance with 87 agility is actually decent for someone who's 6 foot tall, right? So, can't go wrong with that. His finishing is quite nice. Composure is a little bit low considering it's a team of the season card. His weak foot is 3-star, so right off the bat, I wouldn't use it. Let's see if he has any traits. He has a long shot, taker. I mean, here's the thing about this card, right? It's a usable card, right? Which is good because some cards, they're just unusable because there's certain stats that they're missing. Like, in my opinion, I wouldn't use Naldo's card. I think Naldo is usable, but I don't think he's like that great, right? Short passing is good. Long passing is good. You know, it's a typical. He would be a fun card to use. It's definitely the type of card you have to try out in game to see if you like. I highly doubt people are going to really be using this card, though, in all fairness, unless, you know, you're a fan of Hoffenheim's or something, right? Wendell. So Wendell, right off the bat, Alaba's not in this team of the season. Wendell's already, right off the bat, one of the best left backs in the game, right? 97 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, 91 agility, 91 balance. Moving left and right with him will be fantastic. Pushing up the field with him will be okay because he is 53 finishing, so have to take that into consideration when using this card, right? Defensive stats, absolutely god tier, right? Heading accuracy doesn't matter. It's what matters is actually winning the header in the air. He has 80 jumping with 5'9" height, so that's actually not necessarily ideal considering that he is kind of short with a not crazy good jumping, but his aggression, stamina, and strength will definitely make up for a lot of different situations. If you use this card right off the bat, got to give him that anchor card. Make his pace as much as possible. Defensive stats, physical stats, right? If you think his pace is already really good, just slap, which card is it? It's Gladiator, no. Sniper, Finish, Hog, Power, Sentinel. So Sentinel will increase his defensive stats and his physical stats. So, you know, you want to improve the jumping as much as possible, his defensive stats as much as possible, so on and so forth, because his pace is already really good, dribbling is already really good, passing is already really good. Traits, he has technical dribbler and dives into tackles, so this trait could be really good with this, but it can also be a hindrance if he does the lunge mechanic, so you got to be very, very careful with that as well. The next card that we got here is Thorgan Hazards card, which is actually a very good card to look at. He has 4-star skill moves, doesn't have a good weak foot though, which kind of sucks, not like his brother, right? But 94 acceleration, 85 sprint speed with 99 agility, 89 balance. So he has all the typical stats to make this card incredibly usable, right? So right off the bat, if I'm going to use this card, Hunter, no questions asked. His pace needs to be significantly better. His shooting needs to be significantly better. Dribbling on the ball, he's going to be very good. Composure being 86 is quite nice considering good finishing stats in general. He's not the physical type of player, but if we look at his traits, he does have technical dribbler, so he's going to be more oriented around being able to out-dribble his opponents. But the lack of a good weak foot on his left foot, because he is a right-footed player, is bad to have considering he's a left mid. So in-game, you would have to switch him off to the right side depending on your game style. I think most of the times, driven shots are just far too effective to be using someone like Thorgan Hazard on the left side with a bad weak foot, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. His passing stats are actually unbelievably good, considering that it's team of the season upgrades, right? Because if you look at this card, the 8s, the 6s, the 5s, that's what makes the card significantly better. So his 84, I thought it had 94 pace. I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, it's a usable card, but it's not necessarily an ideal card to use. Next card we have here is Sane. So he has 76 pace, so here's to hoping his card's actually nice. And his balance is 46. Oh, man. When you get 46 balance when you're 6'5" with poor jumping, it's like, is it even worth trying out? I wouldn't even try out this card, to be honest with you guys, man. The balance is just too... you know what? It could compensate a little bit, though, guys. It could. The balance is low. The jumping is low because he's 6'5", but... I don't know, man. His acceleration sprint speed with his agility is nice, but then his balance is kind of low. Defensive stats are okay. The physical stats are okay. It's not really a card I would try out, to be honest with you. Next card that we got here is Pavlenka. That's a goalkeeper. I don't know if he has a leg save trait, but if he does, try him out. Gnabry. So Gnabry's card would be, again, a very fun card to use. He doesn't have the weak foot, which, again, always a big problem in FIFA. It would be nice if you can actually, if there was like challenges in the game where you can kind of like upgrade a player to get that weak foot. That would be really cool if EA were to ever do that. But now that we don't have that, I wouldn't use a Gnabry card. Like, he has good stats. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, it's the thing is that people will always tell you that not having the weak foot and not having the skill moves isn't a big deal. But if you want to play the best FIFA possible, it's very limiting when you don't have that weak foot. Because if I get Gnabry on his left side and I can score an easy opportunity, if only he had a 4-star skill move, 4-star weak foot, that's annoying to me, right? So again, a fun card to use. Is a young player, 22 years old. Dribbling stats are going to be fantastic. Sprinting with him is going to be really nice. Traits, he has technical dribbler, so that's nice as well. Finishing, he's going to be fantastic, but again, the 3-star weak foot will definitely be a hindrance. His physical stats are really good: 78 aggression, 84 strength, stamina. So he's 5'8". Passing is decent with him, considering that he is a striker. So he's going to be like an agile type striker, moving left and right really quickly. He's an okay card, but it's just that weak foot. I think he'll be really fun to use. I just think that weak foot will be really annoying to have to deal with, right? So, but it's worth looking into for sure. The next card we got here is Caligari. Caligari's card is a very, very nice card. His sliding tackles is poor, but considering right backs who are Italian, there's not really much to go by. So, you know, if you're making a team with an Italian right back, he's definitely worth looking into. The sliding tackle is really low, which kind of annoys me, and the marking's kind of low too. So he's probably going to be super... You know, I think he would actually work really nicely in a 5 at the back formation, having the fullbacks attack. Like, if you have the fullbacks always overlapping, I think that's what he's going to be best at, because shooting-wise, he's very, very good for a fullback. Acceleration, sprint speed's there. Dribbling on the ball is going to be very good. Medium work rates. Yeah, like I said, I think he would be most ideal as... not even as a right back, but if you're going to be really attacking oriented, this card's going to be really nice, right? Like, if you're going to be really, really attacking oriented, you would give him a hunter. But defensive oriented, if you want to increase his defensive stats a little bit, I would probably give him a shadow card, considering his shooting is already very good. If you believe in these stats being upgraded by this much, then giving him a shadow card in a regular right back position with Italian players next to him, it would work out really nicely. I don't think the Bundesliga actually has that many good right backs in the game, generally speaking, because the only one that comes up to mind is players like Kimmich, and players like Piszczek and stuff. But, you know, having that extra pace is definitely very nice to have. So I would definitely look into getting this card too. I would probably give him a shadow card, considering his shooting stats are already quite nice. I would definitely try out this card. I would definitely try it out. Shadow card, if it actually improves by this much, it's probably one of the best right backs in the game, right? Because having good jumping, good heading accuracy, good strength in the air and stuff is very nice, as well as being able to actually attack and do good driven shots across body, right? Would be very beneficial to have. So another very good card, in all fairness. Max, left back card, 89 pace with 84 acceleration. What's his work rates? Medium. This is a card that's worth trying out too. Dribbling on the ball, he's going to be very good. Finishing, okay, so he's more defensive oriented, because his finishing isn't necessarily ideal to actually go up and attack with. More like the passing would be okay with him. Defensive stats, he's very good. Physical stats, he's very good. Passing stats, he's very good. I would try out this card. Medium, stay back while attacking more specifically, but if you do end up trying this card, shadow right off the bat, make his defensive stats as good as possible, or give him anchor so you can actually improve the jumping, because the jumping is very important for fullbacks so that people don't really exploit those far post crosses against you. So definitely look into that as well. And last but not least, we got Gregor Rich. I wouldn't use this card right off the bat. 77 acceleration as an attacker of some sorts, as a cam. Doesn't even have a 3-star weak foot. 65 balance is just, it's not a card that I would use personally. But if you do end up using the card, I would probably slap a hunter on him, or to improve his dribbling, I would give him a sniper to improve his shooting and his dribbling stats in general. Because since his sprint speed's already quite low, it might not even be worth upgrading. But if you give him hunter, maybe that would be kind of worth upgrading to. Really depends, very situational. But that is going to conclude the review for all the Bundesliga players. I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on the video. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.